Hello everyone. I am Professor Jaspreet Kaur, Associate Professor, Postgraduate Department of English, Cultural Studies and Foreign Languages at Khalsa College, Patiala. Welcome to my class on Alexander Pope, The Rape of the Lock, and I begin with introduction. Alexander Pope was born in London in 1688. As a Roman Catholic, living during a time of Protestant consolidation in England, he was largely excluded from the university system and from political life and suffered certain social and economic disadvantages because of his religion. He was self taught to a great extent and was an assiduous scholar from a very early age. He learned several languages on his own, and his early verses were often imitations of the poets he admired. His obvious talent found encouragement from his father, who was a linen draper, as well as from his literary minded friends. At the age of 12, Alexander Pope contracted a form of tuberculosis that settled in his spine, leaving him stunted and misshapen and causing him great pain for much of his life. He never married, though he formed a number of lifelong friendships in London's literary circles, most notably with Jonathan Swift. So, as an overview, I would love to say that Alexander Pope suffered many challenges in his life. The first challenge was his religion, and another challenge was that he contracted a form of tuberculosis. That is why he never grew, and as a result, he could not marry. He was hunchbacked and very, very short. Alexander Pope wrote during the times what is often known as the Augustan age of English literature. During this time, the nation had recovered from the English civil wars and the Glorious Revolution, and the regained sense of political stability led to a resurgence of support for the arts. For this reason, many compared the period of the reign of Augustus in Rome, under whom both Virgil and Horace had found support for their work. The prevailing taste of the day was neoclassical. The 18th century English writers tended to value poetry that was learned and elusive, setting less value on originality than the Romantics would in the next century. This literature also tended to be morally and often politically engaged, privileging satire as its dominant mode. The Rape of the Lock is one of the most famous English language examples of the mock epic. Published in its first version in 1712, when Alexander Pope was only 23 years old, the poem served to forge his reputation as a poet and remains his most frequently studied work. The inspiration for the poem was an actual incident among Pope's acquaintance in which Robert or Lord Peter cut off a lock of Arabella Fermor's hair, and the young people's families fell into strife as a result. John Carroll, another member of the same circle of prominent Roman Catholics, requested Pope to write a poem that is very, very light in mood that would put the episode into a humorous perspective and then reconcile the two families. The poem was originally published in a shorter version, which Pope later revised. In his later version, he added the machinery, the retinue of supernaturals who influence the action as well as the moral of the tale. The publication of The Rape of the Lock established Pope's reputation strongly, and after the publication of The Rape of the Lock, he spent many years translating the works of Homer. During the 10 years he devoted to this arduous project, and he produced very few new poems of his own, but refined his taste in literature to an incredible degree. When he later recommenced to write original poetry, Pope struck a more serious tone than the one he gave to The Rape of the Lock. These later poems are more severe in their moral judgments and more acid in their satire. Pope's Essay on Man is a philosophical poem on metaphysics, ethics, and human nature, while in the Dunciad, Pope writes a scathing expose of the bad writers and pseudo-intellectuals of his day. One of the most popular satiric modes during the Augustan period was the mock epic, a literary form that creates a burlesque of the classical epic. The satirist imports the formula characteristic of the epic, like the invocation of a muse, supernatural machinery, etc., to discuss a trivial subject. The use of classic epic devices thereby establishes an ironic contrast between the work's structure and its content, exposing the triviality of the satirical subject. The best known mock epics in the English language are John Dryden's Macflecknoe and Pope's The Rape of the Lock and the Dunciad. A couplet is a pair of lines of meter in poetry. It usually consists of two lines that rhyme and have the same meter. Couplets with a meter of iambic pentameter are called heroic couplets. It is one of the simplest rhyme schemes in poetry. Chaucer's The Canterbury Tales are written in rhyming couplets. John Dryden in the 17th and Alexander Pope in the 18th century were both well known for their writings in heroic couplets. So let us now form an overview of Alexander Pope and the times he was born in. Let us revise. So Alexander Pope was born in London in 1688. This was the year when so many changes were happening in England. He was a Roman Catholic, that is why he suffered several social and economic disadvantages. He could not go to any school. He could not get education. Catholics were not allowed to live in the city. They were not allowed to do any business. That is why his father had to shut down his business and they had to shift on the outskirts of their city. But these disadvantages did not let Alexander Pope give up on his studies. He self-tutored, he wrote, he read so much. He also translated Homer. It must have been a huge challenge. Then his religion, and after that his physical deformity. But again, his physical deformity did not come in his way. He was so thin that he could not stand on his own. He could not manage his life on his own. Being hunchbacked and being very weak, life was difficult for him. But he accepted this challenge also head on and wrote this poem in 5 cantos: The Rape of the Lock, his Essay on Man, Essay on Criticism, and Dunciad has consolidated his reputation like anything. That is why this age is also known as the age of Alexander Pope, because he was the representative poet of this period. He included everything in his work that this age stood for. And even to this date, we read this poem and appreciate it. Thank you so much.